Today, in the Invincible CEO Wish Fulfilled Playground, we are going to bust the illusion of manifestation. By the time this video is done, you will no longer have any doubt or wobble. You will understand truly why 3D circumstances don't matter and how beautiful this illusion that you're in so that you can see the fulfillment of your assumption. This is going to be such a mind-blowing video that it will evoke some emotion in you. And sometimes when this illusion is popped, you may feel a little anger, but I'm going to share with you why you want to get beyond that very, very quickly. The illusion is so amazingly good. And you hear manifestation teachers talk about that all the time, that this is all an illusion. It is so good that when you do create your own reality, when you do create the world and the life, the dream life that you want the illusion to be that good. So if the illusion is that good in the unwanted reality, it's just as equally amazing in the reality that you do want, because you want to forget that you are the creator of this. You've done that already. You've gone into your old illusion, into your old world, and you've forgotten that you're the creator of all of this. So when we take that responsibility that I've created all of this and you pull out of it, when you realize that you are the eye of the manifestation storm, and this is what I mean. Not only do I mean that you are the eye of the storm, because that's where all the peace and calm, that's the 0 point, but you're also the I, that capital I, that letter I, the higher self. So we are going to play with our words today. You are the eye of the manifestation storm. You are creating all of the storm around you, but in the center, you are the calm. You are the peaceful, you are the creator. And you go back and forth between being the I and going into the peace, calm 0 point that we talk about all the time, and into the storm, into the illusion of the manifestation, that by the end of this video, there will be no doubt who you are, not only that you're the creator and the character, but also that you can shift it, and how the illusion makes you believe your own BS, makes you believe in its illusion power, so that you can have this amazing experience as the character. Is this seems so intriguing to you? Like right now, if you haven't gotten a pen and paper out, you want to do that, because I'm going to walk you through an experience. And when we're done this video and when we're done this experience, even if reality kind of pulls you back into the story and you forget a little bit, you're going to remember this video. You're going to remember this analogy, because you know I'm the queen of analogies. And you're going to remember what it is that's going on here and how we're going to bust the illusion in this video, so that every time that happens going out there, and if that fear or wobble comes in, you'll know exactly what to do. You are the eye of the storm. And now that you know and you're going to experience that, you will eliminate all doubt, all wobble in your manifestation journey. I'm so excited to share this with you today. So my name is Dede Powerrniak, and I am the Invincible CEO. And this here is our Wish Fulfilled Playground. So if you're new here, thank you for coming. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Oh, and one other thing before we go any further, that once this video is done, and you truly have resonated with it, you do want to sign up for our 2-day event where you get to work with me in a small group on Zoom, September 7th and 8th. And it's called Activate 0 Point, Script Your Reality. On day 1, this 0 point, this eye of the storm that we're talking about today, I'm going to take you deeper and deeper. We're going to have 4 sessions on day 1 where you are going to experience 0 point from different perspectives, going deeper and deeper into the eye. And then on day 2, we're going to come back out into the storm, and we are going to script the reality so that there is no doubt that you know exactly what it is that your reality looks like, so that every time you go in 0 point and you come back out, you know that more and more of that reality is going to materialize for you. So what do I do? Why am I here? I want to see you win. I want to see you win big. I want to see you win all the time. And in this manifestation journey, this mindset to manifestation journey, what my job is to help you get clarity in the now moment, so that you can make an empowered choice, so that when you do go back into the script and that wobble and that doubt comes up, You know who you are, you know what you've chosen, and now you know how to bust the illusion that everything is going to be so amazingly simple and fast as things unfold because you're no longer a house divided within yourself and there's no more wobble. I'm so excited to bring this to you today. So without further ado, thank you for liking and subscribing. And let's jump right into what we're going to do here today. My eye of the storm friends. Okay, so now how this video got inspired. I just love how inspiration comes. And I've done videos on this in the past. I'm not even sure if it's on here or if I did it in private training. But when I used to teach night school, this was one of the exercises that I would do with my class. And as I look out my windows now, you can kind of see it's a cloudy day here. And that's an assumption, right? This is a cloudy day is an assumption. And when you look up, you expect to see clouds in the sky. Now, sometimes there could be breaks and you see some of the blue sky, but you could even say that we can take the assumption a step further and say, most likely it's going to rain today. It's very cool here. We actually have the windows open for the first time in a very long time, but it's a cloudy day and it looks like rain. Now, whether it rains or not, it has the potential. There's the potential of the assumption, but it could just be a cloudy day without rain. But there's a lot of assumptions that we make when we see what the sky looks like and all that's going on. And I'm going to show you now how there's an illusion going on, but behind the illusion is the real truth that you may not be able to see that truth when you're in the story. And I've said this before, like when you're in the pool, when you're in a pool, you forget that you're wet. It's only when you're going into the pool or you're coming out of the pool that you realize you're wet. But when you're in the pool and you're submerged in the pool, that's not even a thought in your mind. So now I want you to think of a thunderstorm. And if you haven't gotten your paper and pen out, I want you to do that right now because you're going to jot some things down. And so when we say thunderstorm, that's an assumption, right? If we look at the sky, there's something about the sky. Or even you can just say a rainy day, right? Even if it's just a rainy day, it doesn't necessarily have to have thunder and lightning. Whichever one you want to do, it'll be perfect for this experience that we're going to have. So I want you to write down what you, in your memory, unless maybe right now it's raining where you're at as you're watching this video. So it could be in real time. But for those of you who have a beautiful sunny day where you're at right now, I want you to think of a rainy day and it's raining out, whether it's a thunderstorm or regular storm. And I want you to jot down everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you can smell. Maybe there's some kind of taste to it, maybe not. And touch. So even if you just for a few seconds went outside to dance in the rain, right? So you can do it from an indoor perspective. You can do it from an outdoor perspective. But I want you to write down all the things that your senses, your five senses, see it, taste it, touch it, hear it, smell it, is telling you that is happening right now, because all that's happening in the now moment is what's happening. So if we go back into a now moment where it's raining out, what would you expect to see? And I'm going to have you now pause the video to write down and make a list, right? All that you see, all that you hear, all that you smell, if there's anything you can taste, because sometimes there is, and anything that can touch or touch you. And can you go in your mind and feel the rain falling on your skin? Right now, if it's not raining where you are, can you hear thunder? Can you hear wind blowing? Can you see rain coming down, whether it's a drizzle or if it's coming down sideways because it's coming down so hard? So write down all the things, put this on pause, and then come back. Okay, welcome back. So now you have a list. And we're going to go through this list. And I'm going to kind of share some of the most popular things that would be on people's lists. That there's lots of clouds in the sky, that it's gray out, depending that the clouds could be light gray or dark gray or a combination in between. You might hear thunder. You might hear the rain falling if it's hitting the house. You can see everything is wet. There's a smell sometimes when it's raining out, especially when the rain hits the grass, if it's springtime, or maybe if where you're at is freezing cold and it's turning to ice, right? The rain coming down is turning to ice, things are a little slippery. So you hear the thunder, you can see some lightning, you see the rain coming down. Most likely, if you're looking outside and it's a street, there's not a whole lot of people out there. Maybe some cars are driving by with their windshield wipers on. And we would say that, if you were writing a story or creating a movie or even a painting, this is what you would either write down or you would draw or you would paint out as a rainy scene, a thunderstorm or rainy scene. And it would seem very real to you. And because through repetition, you know immediately that this is rain, that this is a thunderstorm, you don't have to put the label on what's happening. When the water's falling from the sky, you know it's rain. When the clouds are dark, you know it's a potentiality of rain. So these are assumptions when we look up at the sky, and especially if you're going to walk somewhere and you see the sky that way, it may cause you to act in a certain way, like grab an umbrella, because on your way from where you are to where you're going, that you might need that along the way before you get there. So very interesting of all the things that you would describe. And you can take a few moments and throw some things down in the comment section below. And this experience is very real to you, to the fact that, especially if you don't want to get wet, if you had to go even walk to your car, you would have an umbrella in your hand ready to go to shield you from what's happening. That's how believable it would be for you. And that's how you begin to understand the assumptions, because when you start to look and observe as the observer, it may change your actions than if this was a fully sunny day. Now, some people might just grab an umbrella anyway because it might be part of their character, but for the most part, we're not reaching for umbrellas on sunny days, unless maybe we were told later on it might rain. But for the most part, it doesn't even come into your consciousness to grab one because it's not part of that script. So our outside world influences us and our behaviors based on, we're always calculating probability, whether you realize it or not. Even when you're driving your car and you have to make a right-hand turn onto another street, all of a sudden, your inner being turns into a mathematician, turns into a physics professor, that it knows the kind of turn that you have to do and how fast that you have to go if there's oncoming traffic coming towards you, but you believe you have enough time to make that turn. So these are assumptions that you may not know the formula of the turn that you're going to make mathematically, but you don't have to know the formula and understand the formula of the physics and the mathematics as you turn your car, because you're the experiencer of what's happening. Now, back to our thunderstorm scenario. I'm sure that if I polled the majority of you, there would be something missing from what you wrote down or what you thought about. Something so obvious that the circumstances didn't even have you think about it, didn't even have you put it on your list, because you're so in the now moment with what's happening, you don't realize that if you pulled back and had a bigger perspective, what we're about to say is true. And when these dots connect on what it is that you're trying to manifest and what's actually showing up, that when you're in the pool, when you're in the day that has a rainstorm, a thunderstorm happening, you're not thinking about this other thing, but it's always there. So when you're in your story of your manifestation of it not being there, right, whether it's money, partner, a thriving business, whatever you want to manifest, and the circumstances around you are telling you you are not in that reality, and it's believable because you can't see it, taste it, touch it, hear it, smell it, but it's there. And what that is, I bet no one here watching this video put down this line. And you may get it right when I say it, and you might need a little explanation, so we're going to go in both places. The sun is always shining. The sun is always shining, even in the worst thunderstorm, even in a daily drizzle, sprinkle. Now, sometimes we do get sun showers, right? So we know they exist. We know that the sun can shine and shower down. But in this storm that we were conjuring up in our imagination, unless you have one happening right now, and I have just gray skies that look like it may rain today, you weren't thinking about the sun shining. Why? Because the clouds are blocking it. Even if it was a snowstorm, the clouds would be blocking it. So, but the sun's there. It never disappears. The sun never stops shining, regardless whether you can see it or not. It's always there. Now, what we would have to do physically is to pull out of the perspective of the person getting rained on, or being in the house that's getting rained on, right? So if we were to pull our consciousness out of our body and we rose up higher and higher, 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 higher above the clouds that were doing the raining, we would see that the sun is shining. And when you think about whether we're talking about a rainstorm or even nighttime, right? Because nighttime gives the illusion that the sun is no longer shining. It's not that the sun isn't shining, you just can't see it anymore. And you accept that assumption called nighttime, that you expect the sun to set at night and rise in the morning wherever you are. But it never stops shining just because it's nighttime. And with a storm, or even with clock and calendar time going from daytime to nighttime, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, whether the sun comes out later today or about 2 weeks ago, it rained for like 4 days in a row. We didn't see the sun for a while. That when it came out, I was joking like, oh, I think I recognize what that thing is. I forget what it is. Like, you won't forget what something is if you haven't thought about it in a while. You'll know. But this too shall pass, meaning that all 3D reality is constantly moving. And even though it may seem to you that it's taking a long time or it's taking forever, that the nighttime will turn back into daytime. And the clouds that are now blocking the sun, but I can say it's daytime. And again, that's an assumption because there's light and it appears like daytime because the clouds can be blocking at nighttime also. And that's a whole different look. So you, as the character, not as the creator, right? Because the creator created all this for the character to come into the character's body, to be the breath of life in the character's body and animate the character, for the character to live out the experience that the creator cannot because it's non-physical. So if this sun is always shining 24/7, it never stops shining. What does that mean then when we don't see it? It's just a different perspective. It's just a different perspective within ourselves that we call daytime, nighttime, or sunny day, rainy day. So now, okay, Dede, I get this, right? And did you have an aha moment? Is this really resonating with you? Well, now let's tie this analogy into your manifestations. So let's call the jump off reality where the manifestation is not your rainy day, or you can call it your nighttime. That there's a realization right now that the sun, I can't see the sun. And even though it's shining behind the clouds and there's light, it's not the sunshine that I want in my Leo. We're representative by sun, right? I love the sun. I could be in perpetual summer and I would be in my heart's content. So now, if my manifestation is the sun is not shining like a sunny day shining, right? So I could say right now, technically, based on 3D circumstances, I'm not in my wish fulfilled. Even though I know it's daytime and I know the sun is providing the light based on the reality and what it has taught us, but it's not my sunshine. I want that. I want to go out and lay and get a tan or lay out at the pool and feel the warmth of the sun on me. Then technically I could say that I'm not in my wish fulfilled. And that's the mind illusion. The mind will say the sun is not shining because you can't see it, because it's not as strong as it would be, the heat, the warmth, as it would be if it was shining on this summer day. And it appears very, very real to me right now as this is happening. But you then realize you're in a character that believes in the 3D circumstances. And there's nothing wrong with those characters. We love them dearly. But that means now you have to pull out of the story and go up, raise your consciousness, bring in bigger awareness, because that's what we're doing. When you pour on bigger awareness than what the character can see or experience from where it's sitting right now, in that now moment, and you come out of the story and you raise up. If I were to take my consciousness and go above the clouds in an imaginal act, and I see that the sun is there and it's shining so bright that I can't even directly look into it, and I see it there, and then I realize the layer of illusions that made me believe without further question that the sun isn't shining, then if I'm in my jump off reality, if I want $1 million to be in my bank account, and I see right now that there's 1,000 or whatever number that you have in your bank account, and the clouds are all the story, or all the words, or all the dialogue that you put on it, just like we labeled all the stuff with the rainy day. But the sun, the $1 million, is there. You just can't see it from that perspective. So what do? Is you 0 point, you pull out of the character, what we're going to do in day 1 in our 2-day event, you pull out of the character, and you can even look at that character from that vantage point because she or he believes in the reality that they're in. And you want to believe in the reality. But simultaneously, the sun is shining on that rainy day, that reality that doesn't have it. That's your rainy day. And you pull into seeing the sun within yourself, because you are the eye of the storm, you are the calm, you are the 0 point, even though all of that storm is around you. And you choose again, you choose a different perspective to know that from now on, no matter what's happening out there, daytime, nighttime, rain, snow, cloudy day, doesn't matter. You know, and because you know this, that the sun is always shining, regardless of 3D circumstances, because 3D circumstances do not matter. Now, this is like your winning Powerball. I'm giving you the winning Powerball numbers. Go buy the ticket, meaning go into 0 point and see what is your shining sun right now. What is your wish fulfilled? You're in it. You are in it. Because if I were to sit here and focus on the sun shining, and I don't move until the sun shines, everything around me is going to be exactly the same, except the sun I'll be able to see the sunshine. So when I'm still and I make a choice, I make the out there move. I don't have to do anything other than to choose and to know. And it'll seem so natural. People will go, well, yeah, of course, the sun will come out eventually, Dede. It doesn't matter if it's today or 3 or 4 days from now. Eventually it'll. And there's always a story. A couple of weeks back, there was a hurricane in Florida, which was affecting us up here in Pennsylvania, right? That was the story, and it was very, very believable. And that's how quickly we accept the assumptions that we're in, because most of the time, they don't affect what we're doing unless maybe you have some kind of outdoor event. It might affect it a little bit more than if you were going to be inside all day, or maybe that little bit of time when you had to run to your car or go somewhere that you had to grab an umbrella. But there's usually some kind of quick fix. So now, my friends, this is it. The sun is always shining. Your manifestation, what you have chosen, is always there. It was there before you knew to choose it, because it had to be there before you chose it in order for you to choose it. And we're making all of this up as we go along. And the unfolding will seem like, well, that would have happened anyway. But I've done for myself, and I teach people that I was at a picnic, a barbecue, and it started to downpour, and we were safe under the pavilion, but there was a lot of activities in the barbecue party that would be out there on the grass. And they turned to me and they said, stop it from raining. And I said, okay, I got this. But you can't keep looking at the rain. So go busy yourself with whatever you're doing, and just know in a very few minutes that the rain will stop, because I'm going to go in. What did I do? I didn't see the rain stopping. I saw the sun shining. What does it imply? The sun's shining, the rain's going to stop. Even if during the transition it was raining while the sun was shining, it eventually will stop, and it'll happen quickly. And for those who didn't know that what someone asked me to do this, it'll just seem like the most natural thing anyway. And that's why when you go in and you're the eye of the storm, and the eye, the creator, You take yourself out of the 3D circumstances. You choose what you choose because you know that it's always there. And going forward, from this day forward, it does not matter to you that you can't physically see your reality, because now you know that you're in rainy day reality, and you just need to simply go over to the sunshine, which is your wish fulfilled, which is our wish fulfilled playground here. I love the analogies. I love sharing this information. I love helping you really achieve the clarity, but the clarity comes from the calm. The clarity comes from you knowing that you're the eye of the storm and that you can change anything, anywhere by coming out of the story, going into 0 point, and then from 0 point going into your scripted reality, which we're going to do in our 2-day event on September 7th and 8th. And you do not want to miss it, because again, we'll be on Zoom together. It'll be a small group, and we will have this experience better than we can do here on a YouTube channel with you, me just creating a video and you watching one. You'll actually get to ask me real-time questions. All right, so thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing, for joining our 2-day event. All the information is in the description box below. And if you look at your screen right now, there's a video that was chosen for you by YouTube and one that was chosen for you by me, so that you can continue on this wonderful journey if you wanted to experience another video with amazing manifestation realization for you in the now moment. Thank you so much. Until I see you again, happy manifesting and enjoy.